Synthetic drugs like bath salts have been on the rise over the last couple of years. Just last week, Miami Valley doctors, police, educators, all sorts of stakeholders met to learn more about these designer drugs. And Dr. Ryan Pearson, he's the Chief Clinical Officer, this is the longest title ever, Chief Clinical Officer for the Alcohol, Drug Addiction and Mental Health Services Board of Montgomery County. Did you get all that? Anyway, he's the one who knows it all about these designer drugs. Joins us live this morning. Great to have you on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Great to be here.
What a symposium. Talk about just first of all, the amount of people, there were about 400, right?
Right, yes.
And what happened there?
We had two sessions with 200 people each. They were jam-packed. It was wonderful to have such a turnout, but it was also sort of scary to know that many people wanted that kind of information. We had representatives from the Attorney General's office there. We had representatives from law enforcement, an ER doctor who's been seeing this from the beginning, the forensic pathologist group from the coroner's office. It
runs the gamut.
Yes, absolutely.
And what are we seeing in our community?
Well, we're seeing pretty steady use of this stuff, and it's scary. I mean, the kinds of things that we're seeing in the ERs are people acting very erratically. Their families are worried about them. They're scared about what they're doing because of their behavior. We've had deaths in this county, and it's serious stuff.
I mean, we're talking, people lashing out at their loved ones when they have no prehistory of violence or anything. I mean, these drugs transform them into monsters, and then they have these crazy hallucinations, right? I mean, we're talking real dangerous stuff here.
We've seen that, yeah, and certainly on the national, you've seen the media reports of some really impressive things.
Yeah,
but sometimes people don't necessarily lash out violently, but they behave when they're frightened, they're terrified. The police come and they're trying to get the police to help them, protect themselves against something that's not there. I mean, it's really scary.
Crazy stuff. And Dr. Pearson, what are some of the things that you guys can help folks with?
Well, one thing, of course, is information. I mean, if you have a family member who is behaving differently, has never behaved like this before, if you know that they're using drugs and they start to behave unusually, call 911. Get them to the emergency room. These medicines can have drugs can have very long-term complications, including death. So get them to the hospital.
And there are a lot of resources for folks available that they can get treatment. I mean, if they're addicted, necessarily not to those drugs, but if it leads to other things such as cocaine use or something, there are a lot of resources available, right, to help them get out of this rut.
I'd recommend people call the Adamus board. That's our short name for it.
Yes, I like that, Adamus.
Or go to our website, which is mcadamhs.org.
Okay, we'll make sure we link that on our website as well.
Thank you.
In general, though, just concern for the community, and if we kind of tackle this head on, we should be able to put a stop to it, right?
It's information and awareness. I mean, I think even though it's been out for a couple of years, a lot of people aren't really aware that it's out there. And unless you're really into the drug culture, you might not know about it. And so knowing that your friends and family might be using it, knowing that it's out there, it's in the schools, it's at the workplace, I think that's really important.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning and getting out this important information. And for more information on that, we'll be sure to have it on our website, fox45now.com, or fox45now.com. Click on Fox 45 in the morning.